So a very good day, everyone. Just a friendly reminder before we start that whoever haven't registered, for those UEM students who haven't registered, please do register to get your merit marks. The link is in the IG bio. Hello, doctor. Are you in? Hi everyone. Before we continue, just a friendly reminder again that those from UUM that haven't registered, please do register. The link of Google Form is in the IG bio of our club, and to get your merit marks. All right. So, doctor, all good?
Yeah, Sanjeev, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Good. Because my line is not super, it's raining over here, so I'm just worried about the connection.
Yeah, I understand. It's okay. If we get disconnected, we will reconnect back.
Okay, sure, thank you.
So, doctor, shall we start?
Yeah, sure, I'm ready.
Okay. So, let's see a little review about your life, lah. So here that we've seen that you have Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery (MBBS) in Malacca, Manipal, and you graduated in 2006, and Master in Medicine in Psychiatry, and you graduated in 2016 from University Science Malaysia.
Yeah, correct.
Then Certified Stress Management Consultant, and you're certified in year 2018 by the American Institute of Healthcare Professional.
Yeah.
And also certified medical impairment assessor, National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, and the year of certified is 2018.
Yeah, correct.
So, doctor, are you still working in hospital Kuala Lumpur?
Yeah, at the moment I'm in the Department of Psychiatry, Hospital Kuala Lumpur. I'm
Okay.
working as a psychiatrist there in the unit of neuropsychiatry. We have got many units in the department. I'm in the unit of neuropsychiatry.
Oh, okay. So, doctor, just a simple question. What made you to pursue? What made you to want to be a psychiatrist?
That's a very good question, which people are quite curious about it. Well, I think my mentor played a very important role.
Okay.
Mentors are actually people who change your life. So I got a
Yeah.
very good mentor. This was back in India, Manipal, and I was really fascinated because of the way he saw his patients and the way he taught us. The mentorship
Mhm.
was very good. So from there onwards, I was just focused on psychiatry, and I just continued psychiatry.
And also, Anna, here it says that you are interested in aviation psychiatry. So what is it actually about?
Okay, aviation psychiatry is basically a new field in psychiatry whereby we actually deal with those airmen, pilots, cabin crews, those who are
Yeah, yeah.
and how does the aviation actually impacts humans psychologically. So basically, study about that field.
So, doctor, can you fly?
I used to last time, not
Oh,
now. Yeah.
so are you considered as a certified pilot also?
Not at the
No,
moment.
no. So, yeah, that's about a rough introduction to the viewers, and I think we can continue.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing: the title of today's talk would be about life after man-made apocalypse. What we mean by man-made apocalypse is the pandemic COVID-19, and due to that pandemic, there were many things, many new norms that we never thought that we would be applying in life currently. So that is the rough view. So for now, we will be talking about how these new norms affecting people, whether they affect people, and if so, how, and are there any ways to overcome it, like any tricks that people can learn, and also we will move on to about depression. There will be a few questions about depression, like the cause, the symptom, and what is actually depression. And then we will move on to the viewers' questions. So those who are watching right now, just leave us the questions in the comment section, and I'll make sure to address the question to the doctor. So without further ado, we will continue with the first one. So doctor, as I said, there are new norms in that we are applying right now in life. For example, like one of it is social distancing. So these new norms like social distancing, would it really be affecting people in any way?
Okay. Yeah. Definitely, it has got a great impact on mankind. It has got a great impact on how human behave after this, and definitely there is a very significant impact on this. Yeah. So, how does it impact? Actually, there are three ways what we can do. But before going to the details of how is it affecting us, can I just touch a bit on how COVID actually touched human? Is it
Sure,
possible?
sure.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, sure,
So
can.
basically, yeah. So basically, COVID is a very how to say a new kind of mutation of the virus,
Yeah.
and we are still in the process of understanding fully. You know, we roughly know how is it, but we do not really understand how it is, affecting us. How is it
True,
infecting
true.
us? And at the moment, there is no vaccines, there is no medications for it. We are
Yeah.
treating symptomatically these patients. Okay, but one thing which we actually did was this MCO. So what is actually MCO? MCO is where we actually changed our behavior. We changed the human behavior, changed, and with that, we actually combated the virus. Without any vaccines, nothing, we just changed our behavior. So it is very, I would like to say that, human behavior is actually very powerful for us to combat this kind of infections. So during MCO and even now, what are we going through actually? First of all, okay, MCO has got its good things as well. You see, where we are at home, sometimes we're with our parents, or
Yeah.
we manage to save some money, not going shopping and not eating outside
Yeah.
and all these things. And, all that. And also for students, sometimes they feel that, lectures are quite boring. But when they sat at home, they thought that, oh, it's more boring, to sit at home, rather go for lectures and make friends and everything,
True,
for
true.
students. Yeah, but what is the down side of it? First of all, it caused human isolation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We were actually confined to four walls. We were not allowed to go out. If there's not necessary things, not allowed to go out. We are just sitting at home. So basically, we were isolated. This is out of our nature. Okay. Humans are actually, I would say, a social creature. Okay,
Okay.
we need people around us. We need support from friends, from families. We need to interact with people. We're not social creatures. Some creatures are, they need to be alone. For example, that one fish, I can't remember what is it. If you put two fishes together, they'll fight. They need to be alone.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But humans are not like that. You see, we need support. We need affection from people. So that was not there during when we were confined to our house. So one of
True,
it
true.
was social isolation. Okay, and studies have shown that social isolation, not pertaining to COVID per se. Overall, a study
Okay.
which came out in 2015, there were increase in 29% of mortality when we actually isolate someone chronically. That means for long-term isolation, the mortality rate actually increases. Okay, that's what we went through. That's one thing. Secondly, what happens is that our social norms change. For example,
Yeah,
as
true.
a student, we wake up in the morning. We have got time. For example, 6 o'clock we wake up. Then after our morning chores, we go to class about 8 o'clock. Then we come back lunchtime 1 to 2. Then we come back at 5. Then we go for sports or something like that. Whereas during this MCO period and even after this, that norm is changed. So
Yeah,
what
true.
does this mean is that the structure of our life is disrupted. Okay, we call this as social rhythm. Okay,
Okay.
we have a social rhythm where we have a social rhythm where the structure is there for our life. When this structure is disrupted, that is definitely going to affect us psychologically. Okay, and the third thing, what is actually happening is that the environment per se. Now when you go out to any shops or what, you have to sanitize your hand, probably
Yeah,
carry a hand sanitizer with you, write your name and wear the mask. That's a big thing now. You have to wear your mask, and you don't go to crowded places. When you're in a public transport also. So basically the environment has also changed. So these three things: social isolation, disruption in the social rhythm, and also this change in environment, this has caused a basis
okay.
for us to be vulnerable to any psychological problems.
I
Okay,
see.
so with this, it is actually causing what normally we see is that we see a lot of depression in the
Yeah.
rise,
Yeah.
anxiety, and there's something which we call adjustment disorder, where we really cannot adjust to the new norms, and it causes some problem to us in our daily life. Okay, that's also a problem. And of course, one more is obsessive compulsive disorder. That is also coming up now. So these are the things which is causing.
Okay, and thank you. So we have seen, like, if you said about environment, like working from home, students studying from home, which is like totally out of their normal usual environment, which also disrupts the what do you call it just now, what you say, doctor, about this rhythm.
Social
Yeah, yeah.
social disruption. Yeah.
So we have seen that the changes in the rhythm and the environment contributes to this. How about problems like insomnia? Does it relate or anything?
Okay, definitely. You see, when the social rhythm is affected, when there's change in the environment, or even when there's isolation, like students probably are just confined to your hostel rooms. You really cannot go out freely. So this kind of things actually disrupts the chemicals in the brain. Okay, so when it disrupts the chemicals in the brain, of course, one of it is depression, low mood, poor concentration, and along with that, sleep will definitely be disturbed. Okay, it can be insomnia. It can be insomnia whereby they have lack of sleep, or it can be hypersomnia.
Okay.
Where normally you sleep for 5 or 6 hours, but when you
See.
have all these symptoms, probably you sleep for 10, 12 hours. You just refuse to get up from bed. That's a problem actually. Yeah.
Oh,
So not only insomnia, but also hypersomnia is also a problem.
I think most of us have heard insomnia, but hypersomnia, I think many of us have didn't really thought it was a problem lah. But so doctor, what would you say would be the solution for these type of problems?
Okay, basically, you see, the one I said, this are social isolation, social rhythm, and environment. These three it forms the base of the
Yeah.
vulnerability. But on top of that base, there are other stresses which are also affecting. For example, financial issues. Okay, distance from the family. Like students especially, they are in Kedah, and parents are in Johor or probably Sabah, Sarawak. Okay, that's
Okay.
another stress. Okay, following that, probably this is the time where you have problem with your friends, or
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
the time all these problems will also crop up. So all this, and also one more which is very important to mention is the social media and the fake news. Okay,
Okay.
so when a lot of fake news coming in, this actually causes a lot of anxiety. People get anxious
True.
over this fake news. So all this on top of the social isolation, all these things and all, it is actually causing all these issues. So how are you going to manage this? Is that first of all, uh, identify what is your symptoms.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Normally, what happens is that if we have low mood, we would, we feel sad, and we cannot go to college. We can't, focus. We normally we do not acknowledge it as, I'm having some
Yeah,
emotions.
true.
We will try to say, okay, it's something very simple. So
Yeah.
when you keep on saying that, when you not acknowledge or you not admit that you have these issues, when it builds up, by the time it comes to a stage where you want to go for treatment or something like that, it's a bit late, and what you can do
Okay.
something earlier. Why do you want to wait for so long? So the first thing is that you have to acknowledge this. Okay. Second thing is, I think, don't handle it yourself. Okay, if you have got a friend or somebody, talk to them, say that, I feel this. You may not need to reveal everything to that person.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
but at least tell them how you feel and get some ideas from them. These are the few things which you can actually do. Probably as a student, or I think in
Yeah.
UUM you have a counseling unit, right?
Yeah, we have. We
Uh,
have.
I've been to that unit actually.
Oh,
So yeah, you can meet the counselors there. They're friendly people. They can meet and talk to them. So these are the few things you can actually do. Okay, and talking about social rhythm. So when you're alone at home in the room, and there's no structure, there's no class, you're just at home. Try to maintain the same schedule every day. If you wake up at 7 o'clock, if you decide to wake up at 7 o'clock every day, even though there's nothing to do, you just wake up at 7. So from there onwards, try to have roughly a timetable for yourself. If 1 o'clock you used to eat, make sure at 1 o'clock, you go and have your meals. Don't
okay.
at 10 o'clock. Sometimes you eat, then 3 o'clock you eat, then you sleep after you wake up at 6, 7. It really disrupts. So have a proper schedule, what you're supposed to do. So that will actually help you to maintain the social rhythm.
So, Anna, before we continue, there is a question from one of the viewer. Jivita
Yeah.
asked, does mobile games, like currently we have so many mobile games like PUBG and COD, ML, and so on. Can this cause insomnia? Like, are the
It
are the
cause,
apps are the apps are the reason that the insomnia? I mean, we are having insomnia.
okay, yeah. This now we have games in the phone. You see,
Yeah.
my time we had to connect the big thing to the television, and see
Uh,
from television what is going in and out. Okay, anyhow, whatever games is it, if it is used excessively, whereby you don't use it as a leisure activity. Leisure activity is where when you're free, use it. Then after some time, you stop using it and you carry on with your work. That is okay. But if this is really, you're just into your games, and you even eat your meals while playing the games,
mm.
you miss important activities of the day, definitely it is going to cause insomnia. And of course, studies have proven that excessive use of games will cause insomnia.
Okay, Anna. So there is another viewer, Priyanka. We have talked about insomnia. So now we have a question about hypersomnia. So are there what are the factors of hypersomnia?
Okay, basically, the most common factor of, what the question is, what actually causes hypersomnia, right? That's the question,
Yeah.
right?
What
Okay,
basically? Yeah.
so basically what causes hypersomnia is that one of it could be depression, of course, but before the depression sets in, when you're even stressed out, okay, or you're anxious about something, okay, all this can actually cause hypersomnia.
I
If
think
there's
we're
a
having
stress,
an internet
sometimes when you
connection.
see,
Uh,
you, okay, can I proceed?
yeah, yeah, I can.
Okay, so basically, when you see a stressful situation, you may not be able to identify. You know, a
Okay.
big stress in your life, for example, you know, a loss of a loved one or something. That's a very big stress. You can identify it and you work on it. But sometimes it's small stresses where you go to college. You know, you have some minor problem with your friends. Then you come to the canteen, food is not good. You know, then you go to your room, your roommate is not so good. But you think that you're able to manage it. But it's small things which actually adds up. You do
Okay.
not know actually it's causing stress in your body, and this can lead to, I think, insomnia or hypersomnia.
Okay. So this is something new actually. So we take these things simple, but I think now we got to know that these small things really gives us a big impact.
Yeah, if let's say you are having hypersomnia, and if that, let's say that is not disturbing you, you know, like some people, they sleep at 12 o'clock and they wake up at 12 in the afternoon and they have nothing to do and they've been doing this for a very long time. That's their norm. It's okay, like, you know, but for students, that cannot happen, you see.
Yeah.
Uh, so if let's say you're sleeping for a very long time, try to identify what is the cause, why you cannot wake up early in the morning when the alarm rings. Why do you actually off the alarm? You know, try to find out why is it, and then you try to lead yourself. Is there anything which is disturbing me? Other symptoms? Am I sad, or you know, or my appetite is not good? I'm eating excessively. Something like that. You can do.
All right. There's also another question about hypersomnia. Is being lazy with a lack of schedule causes hypersomnia?
That okay. Is it that you are lazy, or is it that you are under stress? Which, you know, where you're under stress, you really have no motivation to do something. You have to think about that also. Okay, but let's see, if you identify it as laziness, you know, then of course the ball is in your court. You have to do something about laziness. Okay. Yeah, if you are lazy, probably you tend to sleep a lot, or you know, you sit on the bed,
True.
you just don't know how to get up, you know, with the phone or something like that. It can cause. Yeah.
So thank you very much, doctor. So we have seen the first part of it, how the new norms is affecting people and a few ways how to overcome it. Now we go to another interesting topic that recently has resurfaced, which is depression. So about depression, what is actually depression? That's the
Come
basic
again.
question. Oh, I mean, like, okay, before we continue about the topic depression, like, doctor, can you explain, like, what is actually depression? I mean, is there anything that you can specifically explain about depression?
Okay, what do you understand about depression? Let me ask you this question. What do you
Oh
understand
my
about
God.
depression?
So for me, is thing from my point of view, I would say depression would be something that is affecting us that can bring like low mood and low motivation, and sometimes for I think it leads us to a very not so good path. Like some even have suicidal thoughts. That is just roughly what is my understanding.
Yeah, exactly. What I understood is correct. Okay, so basically, depression is many people think that depression is something, you know, which we created by ourselves. You know,
Okay.
there was once when I was giving a talk, there was one person asked me, "Doctor, is depression a choice?" That means
Okay.
she's trying to ask that, is it her choice to be
True.
depressed or not? Okay, the answer is no. Depression is not a choice. Okay, when the depression sets in, it's like a medical condition like diabetes, hypertension. You know,
uh
so it is a medical condition, and we have to acknowledge that depression is a medical condition, and we
okay.
have to get some kind of treatment for it. It may not be always medications. You know, it can be counseling, or there are so many psychotherapies for this. You know, so depression is a medical condition, okay? But how are we going to come out from it? We can play a very important role, okay?
Okay.
So first of all, when we say symptoms of depression, okay,
Okay.
when we understand that low mood, but may not be all that while low mood. You know, there are
Okay.
actually broadly we can divide depression into two symptoms. One is the
Okay.
emotional symptoms. One more is the physical symptoms.
Okay.
The emotional symptoms, of course, low mood is one of it. Then you lose interest in the activities which you always used to do before this. For example,
True.
if you're a badminton player, every evening you go and meet your friends to play badminton. But recently you notice that you don't really feel like playing badminton. You just
True.
want to stay in your room. Okay, this could be one of the symptoms of depression.
Ah,
Okay. Following that, agitation or irritability. Sometimes when you're with your friend, last time your friends used to joke with you, you also used to laugh along with them. But recently you become very sensitive. A small joke, creates a huge problem. You become very agitated. Then the conflict starts. So when there is a change of that kind of emotion, that is one of the signs of depression as well. You become oversensitive.
I see.
Okay, yeah. Besides that, sometimes we feel very worthless. There's no future for us. We are worthless. The environment is, very gloomy. This is also,
Self-doubting.
yes, correct, correct. All these are actually signs of depression. When these things, the worthlessness and all comes in, then slowly what happens is that the thoughts of, why am I living? I might end my life. Might as well end my life. It may go towards that side. So these are a few symptoms of depression. These are emotional symptoms. Looking at physical symptoms, you feel very tired for no reason, as though you just came out
Okay.
from the gym and you're so tired like that. But actually, you have not done much activities for the day. You just probably went to class and came back. Okay, of course, sleep disturbances, insomnia or hypersomnia. Okay, also a sign of depression. And one more important thing is that appetite, change in appetite. We
Okay.
always believe that when we are sad, we do not want to eat, we do not have appetite. But the other way can happen. We have excessive eating. Yeah, for example, sometimes you tend to eat a lot of chocolates, a lot of
Okay.
coffee, or when you go to a cafe, you order more food. Excessive eating, it could be a sign of depression actually. And following that, yeah, tiredness, appetite change, and one more is loss of weight. A
Okay.
loss of weight of at least 5% in a month is either loss of weight or increase 5% in a month. Okay, may not be always, but it could be is one of the signs of depression. Yeah. So if you have all the symptoms, then you have to think: Am I depressed? Or am I having depression or something like that?
So, doctor, talking about these symptoms, a person that is diagnosed with depression, are they supposed to have all the symptoms or just one or two, or are there minimum requirements? Because sometimes I think, like for example, in just a day, I would feel one of it, and suddenly I think I feel depressed.
Okay, so basically what happens is that in our clinics, when somebody comes and tells us all these things, how do we tell that, this person is having depression or it's just an adjustment disorder where they can adjust to the environment? Okay, to say that a person is having depression, they should have the one I told you, that the 10 or the 9 or 10 symptoms which I told you, they should have at least about 5 symptoms.
Okay, okay,
That's one thing. And compulsory, either they have low mood or they have loss of interest in their pleasurable activities.
okay.
One of it should be there, and on top of that, at least about 5 symptoms of that for a duration of at least 2 weeks, most of the days in 2 weeks or more. Then most likely we will think that a person is having depression. Of course, there are few tests, question has to do in order to
Mm.
confirm. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, doctor. So, are there any possible ways to cure or stop people having depression?
Okay, yeah, definitely. So basically, your question is what are the treatment modalities for depression, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so has what I said just now. If you have all the symptoms, don't manage it yourself. First of all,
Okay.
don't acknowledge it. I mean, don't deny it. Acknowledge it that okay, there is something not correct with me. I have to do something about it. Then try to get support from someone. Okay, and after that, what else can you do is that try to connect. If let's say talking to a friend, sometimes when you talk to your friend, you'll feel much better. This is
Yeah.
where the social connection comes in. Social connection is something very vital for human beings. What happens is that when you talk to your friend, when you get connected to your friend, there is this hormone called oxytocin in your body. this oxytocin increases. This oxytocin actually protects your body. It gives you a relaxed feeling, a calm feeling. It actually reduces the sadness, the low mood. So when you try to, instead of you sitting alone at home or in your resort, try to go out and meet your friends. Try to talk to them. You may not meet everyone and tell them I have this problem, this problem. Not necessary. Only your close friend, one person or something where you can actually rely on. You tell this. Other person, you just go out. The best thing what I always encourage is that early in the morning, go out, meet few people, at least 5 people. The first people come to in front of you, wish them good morning, and ask them how are you today. Some small conversation. Then proceed to your lecture hall or something like that. So these are the few factors. Techniques which you can use to actually feel better. And of course, if this thing is just going on and on and on, better get professional support. People may ask who to go and see at the first place, professional support. The nearest person is your counselor. Or if not your counselor, also at least if you have mentors in your university or what, go meet your mentors, your lecturers. And then, you can even see your counselors, or maybe they can link you to the counselors, you may not straight go and see the psychiatrist and all, not necessary. Go and meet the counselor. Yeah. And can I add on?
Yeah, can. Sure.
Okay. And let's see if you manage to identify that this is causing problem, then try to see what you can do about it. But most of the time, the small things which we cannot identify, which jumbles up, and this is causing a problem. So there is one technique where you compartmentalize your problems. For example, you have, let's say, 5 problems. You try to compartmentalize whether is it financial problem, is it problem with your studies or your work, or is it problem with the environment, is it problem with your family or something. Try to compartmentalize. Okay, let's say you have compartmentalized 5. You have 5 problems with you. You have identified 5 problems. So out of that 5, identify which is the one which is disturbing you the most. That's one thing. Probably you can, you write it down, put a scale. 0 is no problem, 10 is most problem. So you just give a number, and according to the scale, and then you see which is the one which is giving you most problem. Okay, identify that. Okay, second step is that among the 5 problems, which is the easiest for you to settle.
Okay.
So for example, if let's say your environment is the easiest for you to settle that first. Try to settle that first. Okay, out of that 5, you can settle 1. You are remaining only 4 problems. So basically, you have reduced the from 5 to 4. Now you can focus with that 4. Then you try to reduce to 3. So focus and settle 1 problem at a time. Okay, then after that, after you try to settle, then you have got 3 problems, then you evaluate and see which problem is the one which is giving the most troublesome. Now you try to evaluate and see.
Okay, there's another question which I personally feel would be helpful. For example, being in another end, as a friend, for a friend who has a depression, sometimes they suddenly call up and say, I have, they're having suicidal thoughts. So are there any tricks, like for us that don't have any experience, any tricks to at least stop them from having those thoughts for a moment until we can do anything about it? Because honestly, I myself have experience getting a call, and I tried my best to handle the situation, but without experience. So, doctor, do you suggest anything that an ordinary person can help?
Okay, there's no magic tricks for this.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, it's very simple. It's very simple. I get this question quite often. What am I to do? I'm not trained in this. You don't have to be trained. You don't have to be trained. The most important thing is 3 steps. L, L, L. 3L. Okay? The first step is look. What are you supposed to look? When the person tells you, look whether the person is in danger or not.
Okay.
Sometimes, these people, they will be in the verge of, attempting suicide or something like that. They're trying to, So is the environment safe for them? So make sure that environment is safe. And then secondly is are they getting good food or not? Sometimes these people they're just isolating themselves in the room. They just do not want to go out. Okay, and then there's no food for them. They've not eaten for quite some time. They just eating Maggi mee or biscuits for the whole week or something like that. So look at that. Are their nutritions are they getting good food or not? If you can try to provide them, buy for them some food or something like that. So first is look, are they safe? Are they getting their basic needs?
Okay. Look.
Let's look. Second is listen. Listen is very simple. Just listen.
Okay.
You just have to listen. You don't have to give any inputs. Okay.
Alright.
Because what happens is that when somebody tells you whatever they want to tell you, they will feel much better as though they have released the burden. The problem may not be solved. Okay. But by telling you, they will feel more calmer, more relaxed. When they are relaxed, probably at that point of time, because the mind, the body is relaxed, they can see a solution for the problem. Before this, they were so stressed out, they couldn't see the solution, but the solution is just in front of them. Okay, so you have to maintain the confidence. Make sure that if the person tells you, the next morning, you see somebody else asking this person, hey, you have this problem, is it? Then the whole thing goes off, you see. So if a person tells you, must be a person who keeps secret very well, So just listen to them, and you may not give any input, but you can encourage them to talk.
Okay.
But don't go asking questions. They tell me this, tell me this. If they do not want to tell you, probably the first time or second time they see you, they may not tell you anything. It's okay. Whatever they tell you, just listen. Okay, that is look, listen, finished. And now is link. Okay, help them to link to a professional. Okay. For example, they may not know how to go to the clinic, how to go to see a counselor. Maybe they'll be thinking that it's a troublesome thing. You may get a letter from whoever is it, a referral letter or something. If let's say that procedure is there, help them to do that procedure. Get a form for them, help them to fill the form, get an appointment for them. Okay, and then on the day where they're supposed to go and see the counselor or your mentor or someone, take them along with them. Be with them and link them to the professional. So that's the basic thing you have to do. You don't have to give your ideas. You don't have to give your input. Nothing.
Okay, doctor. So before that, there are questions that one of it is from Jivita. She asked, Doctor, why and how people who suffer from depression can act or pretend so well that they are okay, but actually they are not. Is it possible?
They pretend very well that they are okay.
I mean,
but actually,
why they do so? Is there any specific reason? Have you encountered anything, doctor? Like,
okay, let me just get this question. That means they're having depression, but they put up a very nice situation. They're saying that they are well and everything. Okay. So, why is it like that? It's very difficult to answer that question because that is the individual. They are like that. Probably they do not want others to know that they are feeling depressed, or they do not want others to know that they are depressed. Probably the stigma is there. That kind of a thing. Sometimes they may not want their friends to worry. They may people who are depressed, they feel that by telling to someone, I'm giving burden to them. They feel very bad about it. Okay. So for that reason, probably they're just keeping to themselves. So this could be one of the reasons. Or sometimes there are instances where they are depressed for some reasons which they don't want to reveal. But they are scared that when they show that they're depressed in front of their friends will try to dig out stories from them. They are worried. This could be one of the reasons. There are many reasons for that. But that's actually a very wrong thing to do. If you are depressed, try to get help from your friends. Just don't say I'm okay.
So the next question is from Josephine. Doctor, how can I be sure that I'm not just making it up? Uh,
Okay. Okay, it's very simple. You see, if let's say you are depressed, feeling sad, feeling depressed is a human behavior. It's a human emotion. Everyone has that emotion, feeling sad, and sometimes you feel happy. You know that
mm,
is the variation of our moods. You have to feel sad sometimes, especially when you see some sad stories or what. You have to feel
sure.
sad. You can't be laughing over a sad story or something like that. But you are more sad than not than happy. Okay,
Okay.
in a week, you are sad for 6 days and only one day you're happy. For example, that means more time you are sad than you are happy. Then probably there is something which is not normal. Okay.
Okay.
Secondly, your sadness and all, is it disturbing your daily life?
Mm,
If it's disturbing your daily life, for example, you see that you're missing classes more frequently, or you see that your exam results are going down, okay, or you see that your activities last time you used to play badminton but now you're not doing, that is affecting you, then you're not making up. There is a problem for you.
okay. Okay. So, okay, the next question. So, because currently now we are in the Q&A session, since it's already almost the ending part of the live. So, next question is from Shantini. Can excessive mood swings lead to depression sooner or later?
Oh, okay. It can. Mood swings. First of all, we have to see the mood swings. How bad is it? Some mood swings are,
Okay.
it doesn't cause any problem, but some mood swings, it causes problem in your daily life. You know,
Okay.
conflicts and your activities are disrupted. And all this can actually lead to depression. Definitely, it can.
I see. I think I myself have learned something new here. So, moving on, Divya Shalini asked, Doctor, how many stages are there in depression?
I mean, we do not stage.
Categorize.
Yeah, but we can say mild, moderate, severe. We can say
Mm,
that. But clinically, it's either you are depressed or you are not depressed. If you are depressed, then you will see that whether you need medications or you need counseling or something like that. If you ask me how do you classify depression, mild, moderate, severe, that would be the easiest way of classification.
okay. So, there's next question will be how to help someone who doesn't really want to get help.
Okay, that is a challenge. That is
Mm,
a challenge. Okay, so first of all, you must be strong in yourself, with yourself, saying that some or other I want to help this person.
okay.
Okay, you should be able to go all out. Okay, because what happens is that in the process of you helping that person, because that person is depressed, the person may be agitated, easily gets angry. So when you go and approach that person, the
Mm,
person may scold you back. When they scold you back, if you feel very insulted and then you do not want to
sure.
go and help the person, this situations can happen. Okay, so what you can do is that don't go and approach the person straight away saying that, hey, look, I think you have a problem. Come, let me help you. Don't
Okay.
don't don't go and do that. Okay, you can't do that to everyone. Okay, so basically, what you can do is that be their friend. Probably when they're going for their meals, they're going to the canteen. Okay, just go and have meals with them. Ask them, so how's the studies, or you tell some stories to them.
Mm,
Where you actually build a rapport with them. You're trying to build a rapport. Then slowly in the process of you building a rapport, then you try to pick up that, sometimes they may tell you that, there's a problem here or there's a problem there. Okay. Then you don't straight away go and dig up now, okay, well, what is your problem? This, that, everything. You just listen, oh, there's a problem. So next day or 2 days later when you meet that person again, and you ask, hey, you told me that problem the other day. So how is it? Have you settled it or something like that? So go slowly. So basically, you don't go straight away go into the problem and try to pull them out. No, you go around, try to build a rapport with them, and make sure that. I mean, why are you doing this? That you want them to be comfortable with you. You want to let them know that you are a person who's there to help them to to be trustworthy, rather than you are a person who wants to dig up stories from them, So they have to be comfortable with you first. That's when they actually open up. So when they open up with you, then things will be much easier.
So there is also a question from my club president. So how to differentiate stress and depression? People often misuse the words.
Okay, depression is something which I told you just now, all the 9
Okay.
symptoms. Okay, stress is almost like that. Okay, you may have the same thing, but the difference between stress and depression is that in depression there will be a lot of disruption in your daily activities. Okay, whereas in stress there will be this disruption in your daily activities, but you will be able to overcome that or work hard to solve that problem. You still have the motivation, your mind is still clear. You can see that it's a problem. I can try to settle this. Talk to people or something like that. So probably that is actually stress reaction, okay, rather than a depression. But again, it's quite dangerous for you to differentiate and say that, oh, this is stress, this is not depression, okay, because then not leave it to the healthcare professional, the mental health professionals to differentiate whether is it a stress or whether is it a depression. So what you can do is that you see that you have all the symptoms. Stress symptoms are almost the same also, that you feel very tired without any activities. You have this irritability, you have body aches, you cannot concentrate, you cannot focus. All these are also signs of stress as well. Okay, if let's say you have these symptoms, forget about stress or depression, go to the symptoms. If you have these symptoms, that means something is not correct.
Okay.
There's no need for you to differentiate, okay, this is stress, this is depression, or this is mild depression.
Okay. So this will be the last question since time constraint. From Balkis, my fellow executive as well. Doctor, is it safe or okay for a person with depression just to only depend on medication? I think there's a line disruption there. Just now, doctor has acknowledged that area is raining. So, from my view, I don't see the doctor. So let's wait for a while and hopefully it all comes back. Doctor, can you hear me clearly? Connection to be okay. Okay, the doctor has left. We are okay. So far, I hope that the viewers have understand what we have discussed with the doctor about how the new norms is affecting us and um, simple ways to overcome it. And also we have talked about depression, and there are actually 9 symptoms, and you need to have minimum 5. If those who have just joined and you have missed out, no worries, there will be a replay, and make sure to go and watch, because these informations are surprisingly, the doctor is back, okay, surprisingly interesting, small things that really matter. Let's try one last time. Doctor, can you hear me, doctor? Can you hear me clearly? Oh, okay. Yeah, the video is lagging. So just now it was totally disconnected. Okay, doctor, I think now it's better.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can?
Yeah, can.
Okay, I had to come to my door actually. The line is quite bad.
Mm.
Okay.
So,
So yeah, what was the question?
okay, basically we have roughly 6 more minutes. Do you think the last question could be answered? Regarding about
I forgot the
is it
question.
is it okay or safe for a person with depression just to depend only on medication?
Okay, so basically, wait 1 minute. Let me put my phone in a proper way.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I can.
Okay? Yeah, now, okay. So, okay, basically what happens is that in depression, the management of depression, we go into this model in treatment, what we call it as
Okay.
biopsychosocial model. Okay, biologically, we have the medications. Okay, that's one thing, medications. Then psychologically, there are a lot of psychological aspects which we have to uh, do as well, like what I told you just now, getting connected to people, that are the psychological support. And of course, we have something called the psychotherapy. We have got the cognitive
Okay.
behavioral therapy, or we have got
Yeah.
simple counselings, problem solving techniques, stress management techniques. That is the psychological aspect of it. And social aspect of it, socially, how is that person? Because if there's any social stressor, we have to address that. For example, there's problem in the family, okay, and you're just giving antidepressants, but the problem is still ongoing. It's not going to work in that way as well. So if you ask me the
Understand.
question, is it just enough only with antidepressants? Well, antidepressants will help to a certain extent. There's a biological part. Psychological and socially also, you have to manage all this. So it's actually a package, a holistic thing which you have to do. But the most important thing is that, let's say you're started on antidepressants, try not to stop it by yourself. If at all
Okay.
you decide that you want to stop the antidepressants for various reasons, probably you're having some side effects of antidepressants. For example, too sedated, or there's some kind of things happening. Discuss with the doctor. Go and talk to the doctor and say that I'm having this problem. Then the doctor will tell you what to do. There is a proper regime to stop antidepressants. We do not straight away stop antidepressants.
Okay, I understand. So, doctor, that's all for today. Just want to say thank you very much, for spending the time with us, sharing this wonderful information that honestly they are new. I would say it's new for us. Like this information, we have taken it simple, but actually really gives a big impact. So, on behalf of the club, and also I myself would like to thank you for having this session with me. it's been a very good. It's been a pleasure and a memorable one for me actually.
Thank you very much to you and your team for inviting me. I love to conduct this kind of sections for students, and because I love UM because I'm from Kedah, and
Okay.
UM was built. I know how UM was being built, and so I'm very close to UM students. So thank you very much to all the audience who listen. I hope this session was useful for all of you. Yeah, in case you want to get connected to me through Facebook or through Instagram, you can message me. I'll take some time to reply, but it's okay. I can reply. Yeah.
And hopefully we can see you conducting some programs physically in UUM soon, because it's been very helpful.
Definitely, yeah.
So that's all from us. Thank you very much, Anna.
Thank you very
see you
much.
Soon.
Thank you.
I hope to see you soon. All right.
See you.